Hey guys, it's the distractionist. I have this little turban thing on because it's like when I don't have a headband on, people be looking at me strange because I think the bun that's in the back is too low. So people be thinking I just have this low like fade. First of all, if I did, who cares? I used to like cut my hair all the time, so I'm used to people staring at me when my hair is like like this much hair. Like this much. Now it's like past. It's like longer than my head, which is pretty big. Anyway, I'm here talking about Venus. So I'm here about the Taurus Uranus transit. So my Venus is in Taurus, and Uranus is kind of about to like. Uranus is kind of about to wrap up. Like, hold on for a sec. Okay, cool. I'm back. I had to write a reply to somebody. Okay, so my Venus is in Taurus, and Uranus is transiting Taurus, which means it touched my Venus. I think it's already touched my Venus. I think it's like my Venus is like 16-ish degrees somewhere in there. Thank God it's not retrograde, child. I don't think I could handle any more retrogrades. Like the retrogrades I have are like the outer planets. So like my Saturn, my shit, what's it? My Saturn, my Pluto, my Neptune, my Uranus, like the big planets, the outer planets, transgenerational planets, like those are like retrograde. I'm like, fuck me. But like retrogrades aren't necessarily like bad things, and I guess I'll do a video on that because I kind of feel like the advice I have is what is referring to Mercury retrograde. But let's get back into the actual topic. So my Venus is in Taurus, Uranus is transiting Taurus, so transiting my Venus, and boy have we had some like left field events that have happened like this year, and I feel like last year, I feel like since Uranus was moving closer to my Venus, I started having more like out of nowhere like kind of events happening regarding love. And one of the cool things on a personal level is that I kind of felt like I started unraveling and dealing with, not necessarily in therapy, girl, but started dealing with the relationship issues that I've had with people, or understanding the relationships, because ain't shit got resolved. Just saying. But I felt like I was able to talk to people, generally like my friends, more about love and relationships, and I was able to see the patterns, excuse me, of love and relationships, and just relationships in general. Relationships and my family relationships with people, how I relate to other people, and like jobs, how I relate to people, with friendships, like things that I feel and think about being in relationships with other people, right, platonic or otherwise. And I feel like I had to come to like uncomfortable truths about like certain things in the past, like forgive people in the past, and understand that like all these events have like led me here to where I am, finally stable, bitch. But I felt like I got more and more on my path with regards to what I want to do. So like Venus for me represents a lot of things. It kind of does represent things that I love to do, like of course fashion, things like that. But I think just a deeper sense of appreciation and contentment with beauty in its many forms, and understanding that beauty comes in many forms just to begin with, and that I myself am beautiful. Like I struggled a lot on the more physical beauty aspect. I struggled a lot when I was growing up. Wasn't necessarily my skin tone or anything like that, although that's common for people with my skin tone. It wasn't really my hair either. It was just kind of like my size, or like how I felt like I didn't fit in, the stuff that I was interested in, that I loved personally, like the music that I loved, the fashion I loved, like the people around me. Even if I wasn't wearing it per se, I appreciate fashion. Like the music I was listening to, like all the things that I liked the people in my environment never seem to like really like. And it's kind of funny being an adult and being online, which is like kind of that Uranus aspect of the people who grew up loving certain things or being interested in certain things that place them on the outskirts of certain mainstream groups, cliques, whatever you want to call them. And it's kind of like I've had to make peace with the fact that like, one, my interests were my interests, regardless of how isolating they were for other people or myself, and that had I hadn't if I didn't have those interests, I wouldn't be the person I am today, because those decisions to listen to this or do that, blah, 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 led me to make decisions that had consequences, that had consequences, that had consequences, and now I'm here. And so I had to kind of come to peace with like the fact that I like international music. I like a lot of international music. I like a lot of fashion stuff. I appreciate like art, even if it's art that I like, wouldn't normally look at. And I think that's why tarot is such a beautiful place, because there's decks with art styles I personally like. Like the artwork ain't hitting it for me, but I like there's something about it that I kind of do like, even though it's not something I typically would enjoy. And I think that's something too, is that I've expanded what I am interested in, what I like, what I'll tolerate, what I'll entertain, right? And so yeah, I become slightly more tolerant as a person. We'll see. The Leo moon in me don't be tolerating shit, I guess, these days. I think also when you turn 30, it's just like I can't, like, some of this shit I just don't be caring. So on a personal note, I've been kind of more into Uranus aspects and things, and changing up how I see myself, changing up what I believe about beauty, what I perceive beauty to be, and just having an overall general awareness. And I think the internet, with the Uranus aspect of this, it really, I think it really helped me to connect. And not even connect as in like I DM people and we talk, but like I'm able to connect with people who share their stories or share things that they're doing. Like I have 4 Instagram accounts. So my personal one I don't really use. My tarot one I use a lot. And I'm starting to use my writing and my art ones more. And it's really cool to just go on the internet and see how people are doing things they love and things that are aesthetically pleasing, if not to me, then to them. And I kind of find that there's a lot less judgment around that for me. And I do see that a little bit online. Some people can be really harsh and like just want to argue. I've been there, but like, yeah. And my nose drips. So anyway, that's personal. On a larger internet scale, Uranus and Taurus, overall, I have been more interested in my stability. My Saturn return is here, and they like, look, you gotta get this shit together. My Saturn return really forced me to get like financially minded. Uranus and Taurus did help. But leaving the more conventional careers behind. Like, yeah, I still want to write and stuff like that, and that's really not a conventional career still in 2023. Being a writer is still not conventional. I don't know. But being a massage therapist and going in that direction is not conventional either. It's not a typical 9 to 5. It's not a typical day job. It's not a typical night job. It's very flexible, and I think that it suits me as a person. Now, other things that I noticed on the internet as it relates to Taurus and Uranus, I do think overall we're doing more videos about relationships and growing and changing and developing, self-improvement, stuff like that. I do think with that Uranus element though, that there's an element of fear in some of the spaces, especially like the manosphere kind of spaces, and the the alternative, the like women's alternative to that. I don't know what they call the women's figure. I don't know, divestors type shit. The people that are all the people where these like weird conversations about 50-50 and shit like that. Like some people, y'all have never heard of these people a day in my life. I be on the toxic side of YouTube sometimes because I'm toxic. But I feel like elements of fear around love are coming up to be healed on both sides, all sides. I don't care what side it is, but I do feel like fear around love, worthiness, dignity, standards, familial patterns are coming up. And some people are really fearful of being the change and really fearful also on the other side that they'll continue certain things. Every generation not necessarily continue something, but every generation has something else to heal. And I feel like every generation it gets more refined, and the things that you have to heal are more like tricky to deal with because it's like becoming more energetically like minute, acute, so to speak. And so I feel like people just have like these little areas, but relationships definitely are coming up. Like this year also was year of the rabbit, so a lot of like relationship stuff, I'm not surprised, coming up. A lot of people got pregnant around, like people I know, like people in my job and stuff like that, my old job, like pregnant and shit. I mean, like people always get pregnant, but I'm just saying. Next year is year of the dragon. I gotta do a video on that. Other things that I noticed: Uranus and Taurus. I feel like I've seen a lot more beauty videos, like skincare, more things. But have you noticed a lot of food videos? That's the heart of this video. I noticed so much like Taurus food shit. Cause like decor and stuff like that had its run. The beauty sector really fell off, I feel like, by 2020-ish. 2021 definitely, I feel like they fell off. The interior design space, kind of the same. Hair care and stuff like that. People still like watch these videos, right? Like people still watch beauty videos. They still watch interior decor. People still watch capsule wardrobe or wardrobe stuff. People still watch perfume videos. But I kind of feel like a lot of people have shifted to food. And I kind of find that it's really interesting that people would shift to food. But the more I think about it, it changes the way we perceive people's identity or what people hold dear. And it's not like necessarily a physical object where you can like take it and keep it forever. I mean, you're eating it, but you can start to learn about people through the food that they cook, or don't in my case. But it's very interesting to go online. Like I watch a lot of food videos now, even like on shorts. I watch a lot of food stuff, and it's just so aesthetically pleasing, but it's also like very calming to me to watch people like make food. And I particularly am watching a lot of Korean food and a lot of Trini food, Trinidadian, Caribbean food, but specifically Trinidadian. And I just like, I don't know, like even though I really wouldn't eat like half of this, I find it so fascinating that people like, they literally like, they make this shit on camera. Like I don't know, it's like kind of cool because it's not like people like Food Network or like big restaurants or something like that doing these videos. It's like common people who like, you go to their house for Thanksgiving, it's your aunt, it's your cousin, it's your mom, it's your brother, it's your husband, you know what I'm saying? Like it's people like that. It's shifting the dynamic, I guess, between like cooking and stuff like that. Of course there's always been like restaurant people, restaurateurs, and like what is it, the top chef, the sous chefs and stuff like that, versus like the grandma and Appalachia or Appalachian Mountains, you know, like the two different cooking styles. But I find that so fascinating. I find that trends from around the world are making themselves more known, because I kind of feel like with the beauty and the beauty and the oh god, what is it called, decor and stuff like that, there was something about like like that kind of seemed, nah, it's not whitewashed, but it's kind of like, it seemed like more universal standards. And sometimes, like, different heritage months and stuff like that, like, this is what we wear to weddings, this is what we wear here, this is what we wear. But it was very specific, um just very specific, like, occasions, versus like cooking. I kind of feel like because people do it every day, it's a better pathway into someone's identity, like, sphere, like, if you're going to start talking about that, because it's something that they probably interact with more every day than like beauty, like, like makeup and stuff like that. And it's you can really tell regional differences with cooking than you can with makeup, because somebody in Brazil may look exactly like some chick in like LA. I'm just saying, like a chick in LA, a chick in Brazil, a chick in Japan may all have the same like beauty kind of thing going on, even though they generally don't. But cooking is very, like, I just feel like cooking is very different. And what I didn't like, especially on the health food side, child, I don't want that shit no way, but on the health food side, like, I don't know, like, all this shit look the same. Quinoa, acai bowls, or acai, I don't know what the fuck it's called. I don't know, forgive me. What's the other stuff? Like it just seemed like it was like a flat oneness. Like everybody had to eat the same shit to like lose weight or to whatever. And I kind of feel like cooking now really showcases like people's personalities and people's cultures, and I'm really excited to like see that. Another thing that I noticed is like dances, like a lot of dances, people moving, people being active, people like, again, sharing things that you love that are like regional, right? Like some of the stuff I see from like the city I live in, like, has been having an interesting moment. They've also been very like prominent on like food blogs on Instagram, or food bloggers on Instagram, food bloggers, whatever you want to call them. And so I just find that it's just very interesting. Um, that matter. The more practical Taurian like matter is that the places that you see more prominent on your Instagram are the places that are probably going to economically develop or going through some economic change. Uranus and Taurus, like Taurus, Uranus. And so pay attention to that, because these may be very prominent places in the future, politically, economically, whatever, socially. And just pay attention to what's being presented on your feed. Like a lot of stuff from my city, I was telling people about, the stuff from my city that I saw, and like, boom, like something major essentially has happened for the city, and it'll be like a huge economic development thing within the next like 10-20 years as a result. But that's why I like astrology. You can track it, because I already looked up the chart of the country, then I looked up the chart of the city that I'm in, stuff like that. So I feel like these are some trends that we're seeing, and I'm excited for it. I think I'll do a larger series on astrology, like planets and stuff like that, and the musings that I kind of have regarding them. Most likely I'll start with Venus, because I have things to say about that, and hopefully I'll write down real notes so it's like cohesive, because this is kind of like all over the place. But yeah, those are the things that I've noticed in my personal life and at large with like Taurus Uranus type stuff. And so what have you noticed, or have you even kind of cared about Uranus and Taurus? Because a lot of people were focused more on like Pluto and Capricorn moving to Pluto and Aquarius. That's big, but I kind of feel like Uranus and Taurus like kind of set the groundwork for Pluto and Aquarius. And we'll have a better, easier time, because Uranus will be going into Gemini, so it'll trine a little bit better, and it'll be an air, a planet that rules an air sign in an air sign. Sorry, there's a lot going on there, right? So yeah, it might smooth it over a little bit. That means things are going to get like very accelerated though. But yeah. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this like all over the place video about Uranus, Taurus, my personal perspectives, and then like larger trends I'm seeing online. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.